everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Carol. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 7 different ways in which you can use your foundation. You heard it right, 7 different ways, not the usual ways. So if you want to know these hacks, then please keep on watching. So the first way that you can use your foundation is something that I promise you, you would have never thought of in your entire life. And that is using a foundation as a foundation. Okay, no, but there is a little extra that you can do with it just to give like a nice glowy, shiny effect to your foundation. Let me show you what you can do. So you got to take a foundation of your skin tone. So I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in my skin tone. I'm going to take a little bit on a petri dish because I want to look like a pro. But if you don't have this fancy looking thing, you can even put it off on your hand, it's fine. So I'm just taking a little bit of the foundation onto the petri dish and I'm going to scrape off a little highlighter into it. You can even use like a golden eyeshadow, like a champagne-y color eyeshadow into it. Mix it up really nicely and then you just pop it onto your face. It kind of gives this nice glowy, dewy effect. So you don't really need to use like that, you know the shiny lotions that you use before your foundation, like the highlighter or anything. You can just mix it with your foundation and use it. So you can see that nice glow and that sheen that it gives to the skin, and that's exactly why I sometimes like to mix a little bit of highlighter into my foundation. Okay, the next thing you can do with your foundation is you can use your foundation also as a concealer. So for this, you'll need a foundation that's a little bit darker than your skin tone so that it can cover up any pigmentation or blemishes. And ideally, you will want to be using a full coverage foundation for this. So I actually have 2 options right here with me. One is the M.A.C Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. This one is in the shade NC 43.5. which is a little darker than my skin, so I could use this as a concealer, and it is full coverage. And the other option I have again is from M.A.C Cosmetics. It is the Studio Fix Stick Foundation, so it comes in a stick form. This is in the shade NC 42. Honestly, both of these will do the job for me, and I don't know which one to use right now. I think I'll go for the stick foundation. So you just got to take a little bit of it on your finger, just like you would do with a concealer, and then pack it on to the dark circles or wherever you have blemishes or pigmentation. So depending on how much pigmentation you have, as in terms of the intensity, you'll have to use like that much of a full coverage foundation, I'd say. Something that does not have too much coverage may not be able to really do the job of a concealer. And both of these have really, really good coverage. So you could use either of these or any other foundation that you have. On my forehead also some blemishes, so I'm just going to pack it onto that. You could actually even do the concealer step before foundation, but I just find it to be a little more effective for my skin when I do concealer on top of foundation. Yep. So foundation as concealer, done. Cool. So the third use of foundation that I'm going to show you is something that I've recently discovered, and it's like pretty interesting, and I also like it a lot. So you know how I always spoke about using lipstick as blush because it gives that nice dewy effect, which I really like. But the interesting thing is you can do pretty much something like that with a foundation. So let me just show you that. So for this, you want to take a foundation that is a little more dewy or like watery or oily. So I'm taking this one, the M.A.C Water Weight Foundation. It's very, very lightweight. Taking a little bit of that on the petri dish. This is slightly lighter than my skin tone, but it's fine. Now into this, I'm going to mix a little bit of a pink eyeshadow. So I'm using a slightly darker pink eyeshadow since the foundation is light, so that it will balance out and become a nice soft pink blush. And you want to mix it up really nicely. And then you just use it as a cream blush. So you want to, oops, pack it on. It's a bit much, but we're going to soften it out. You could use any eyeshadow of your choice. If you don't like pink, you can use like a peach or a coral eyeshadow, any eyeshadow. Or even if you have a powder blush, you can mix that to make it a cream blush. Little bit on the nose, I think, will be nice. Yeah. So that's how you get a cream blush out of a foundation, and that is the third use of a foundation. The next step is to use a foundation as a contour. For this, you will need a slightly darker foundation, and you know what? I'm sure all of you have foundations that don't work for you in terms of using it as a foundation, like foundations that are not your skin tone. So don't throw them away. That actually is the whole point of this video. Don't throw away foundations that are not of your skin tone. You can always multi-use it and use it for other purposes like a concealer. You can mix it with your blush to get a cream blush, etc. So for contour, I am using this foundation, the Wet n Wild one. It's quite dark for my skin. So I'm going to contour my face with it, right on my cheeks, a little bit on the sides of my nose, forehead. I think this is also can also make for a multi-use of brush, because I'm using the same brush for every single thing on my face right now. But this is a really nice brush, so I think it's okay. Yes, so we're done with contour as well, and we're done with the fourth use of a foundation. So we have 5, 6, 7, 3 more uses. Let's see what else we can do with the foundation. Now that we've spoken about contour, how can we not speak about highlighting and brightening up the face? So if you want that really nice bright look, like you'll see a lot in Western makeup looks actually, if you look at Kim Kardashian or like most of the Western makeup looks, you'll see that super brightened center of the face, which is something you can do with foundation again. So for that, I'm using this foundation from e.l.f. I don't know the shade because it's not written here as like wiped off, but it is really light for my skin. So it is basically this color. So I'm going to use that right on the center of my face, which is under the eyes, center of my forehead, bridge of the nose and the chin, and sort of just blend it out. And we've brightened the face. I'm going to quickly set all this in place and then come back with the next use of foundation. Okay, so I've just quickly put on some powder under my eyes so that it, whatever's under my eyes doesn't move and it stays in place. Now the next use of foundation is using foundation as eyeshadow. So you could either do with just one foundation, or if you want like two-dimensional eyeshadow, not two-dimension, but like two-color eyeshadow, then you can even go in with 2 shades of foundation. So I'm going to first use this one, which is the Wet n Wild foundation again. It's a dark shade. It's in the shade Mocha, like super dark for my skin. Okay, so when you're using foundation on the eyes as eyeshadow, always use something that's super matte so that it doesn't crease. So a little bit, just to add a little bit of contour warmth to the eyes is why I'm using this right here on the outer corner like that. And then using a blending brush, I'm just going to blend this in, just like you would with an eyeshadow. This almost works like a liquid eyeshadow. So I'm going to just blend it out like that. Now, this one is a pretty matte foundation, but just so that it doesn't move, there's no risk of it moving, I'm using a little bit of translucent powder. This one's from L'Oreal. Translucent because it has no color, and I'm going to just set it in place. So you could leave this look like this, or if you want to add another color to this, just, so that it has a little bit more dimension, I'm going to use a lighter foundation, again the e.l.f. one, and place it right on the center of my eye. Yep. So we are done with the 6th use and the last one to go. Okay, so the last and final way that I'm going to show you how to use your foundation is to use your foundation as a lip primer. So for this, again, you'll need a matte foundation. I think matte foundation is the best bet because it's so multi-purpose and you can do so many things with it. So I have used this one, the Maybelline Fit Me foundation again, slightly lighter one. I'm going to apply it on my lip like this. If your foundation is not matte enough, you can go in with a little bit of powder to just make it more matte. It may look a little funny at this stage, but trust me, a lipstick is going to last really long. Okay, so after you apply that, you're going to apply a lip pencil and lipstick as usual. I'm using red because I'm wearing red today, and you can really see how it looks nice and bold. That's it. Now this lipstick is going to stay almost the entire day, I'd say. First of all, because we've used lip pencil, but more so when you use a foundation underneath, like a matte one, the lipstick really sticks onto the lip. So you get a long-lasting lipstick with foundation. And those were the 7 uses of foundation in ways that I don't think you would have thought about on an hour basis. So don't throw away your foundation, guys. If it's not your skin tone, don't throw it away. Don't waste makeup. Like, don't waste anything in life, and definitely not makeup. So yeah, those were the uses of foundation. I hope you guys like this video and I hope you think it's useful. If you liked it, or if you have any questions, or if you want to tell me that it's awesome, then please mention it in the comments below. And please let me know what other kinds of videos you'd like to watch. Until the next time, take care. Bye.